Hello, I'm John Miles, Head of Tech here at Titus, and welcome back to our Behind the Faces series. I'm really pleased that today we are once again joined by Emilio Lozano, Product Manager for Moodle Workplace, to chat about some of the features and functionality of the new Workplace 4 product. Emilio, thank you very much for joining us here. It's great to see you again. I'm John Miles, Head of Tech here at Titus in the UK, and it's great to talk to you. It's been a few months since we met and saw each other at Moodle Moot. Very exciting, of course, because of the announcement on Moodle for Workplace release, and there was lots of interesting sessions and conversations over there. So thank you, Emilio, for coming to talk to us today, because we'd like to just try to explore a little bit of depth around some of the features, functionality, and changes that are released as part of the initial release, but also to talk a little bit about a glimpse into the future, to just see what's coming up, what are we going to look forward to in future releases as we go through the development life cycle.
Okay. That's nice to be here, John. Thanks so much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys, because you are one of the most engaged service providers we have with Workplace. You create awesome solutions using Workplace, so it's always a pleasure to be here talking with you.
Thanks, Emilio. So look, I'd like to sort of delve in, if we can, then to some of the logic and guiding principles behind some of the changes that came along with Workplace 4, specifically around functionality. Now, for some of our customers who have used previous versions of Workplace, version 3, they're very familiar with what Workplace brings. But for those customers, Emilio, that aren't familiar, and Moodle Workplace 4 is their first experience with the product, can you just bring to life some of those key features and differences between Workplace and LMS?
Sure, that's a great question, by the way. So let me start. Let me begin with what we've done in Workplace 4 to give some context to all kind of customers, also for the newcomers and also for the ones that already know Workplace. So with Workplace 4, we've taken the opportunity to improve the learner and manager journey and the navigation through the platform, and especially, or in general, the user experience. So in this release, we have benefit from the extensive discovery and consultation process with the Moodle community that inform the improvements in Moodle LMS 4, because Moodle Workplace is based on Moodle LMS, which means that anything that is added to the main product, to the open source product, will be also available in Workplace 4. So it was very important for us to be aware of this process for LMS and also to participate in it. And also, and in fact, we not only we benefit from that, from the this process in Moodle LMS, but we have also been involved in the design process for Moodle LMS 4.0, because our UX lead, Rafael Lechuga, was also the UX lead for Moodle LMS 4.0. This allows us to bring some of the outcomes from the discovery process in Workplace to LMS in the first place, and also to be informed, to inform the process in Moodle Workplace for development and design after that, because Rafael could bring some ideas we have to Moodle LMS and could take some of the ideas from the Moodle LMS process into Workplace 4. So it was a win-win, both for Moodle LMS and Workplace. And so for the newcomers, what I could say is that Moodle Workplace is the best of Moodle LMS, all the features it has, and also a set of specific features that are very tailored to the organization needs, not only corporate, but also other kinds of organizations. In fact, what we try to do is to add more possibilities to the product, so customers don't need to rely on any other plugins for LMS or external systems, because they will find anything they need in the product, especially regarding to the multi-tenancy feature, which is very demanded in this sector and is very comprehensive in Workplace. I could say that is one of the best implementations of multi-tenancy that you can find out there. But not only on that, but also on automation. So we know that it's usually very painful for the HR departments, learning departments to do all these tasks that they need to do every month, every week on an LMS. And we have put a great effort on automating all these things, and along with multi-tenancy, to be able to delegate this administration on different departments or users or key users within the organization.
Thanks, Emilio. Now, I remember when we spoke about version 3 and we were talking in the early stages of when version 4 was being designed and developed, you talked about version 4 as an evolution. And I think you've articulated that really, really well. In terms of Moodle version 4, though, in addition to that evolution, what are the new features and functionality that have been introduced specifically or are planned to be introduced specifically for version 4 users?
We have introduced a lot of functionality in Workplace 4 because Workplace 4 is based on Moodle LMS 4. So first of all the groundbreaking improvements in Moodle LMS 4 are also available in Workplace 4, which means that the new navigation, UX improvements, all the changes in the course navigation and the course format, everything is available in Workplace 4, including the report builder that we completely refactor and open source to Moodle LMS. So now the report builder in Workplace is even better, and it's exactly the same report builder we have released to LMS. But in terms of new features that's exclusive to Workplace, just to name some of them, we have a new Workplace dashboard, which is based on 2 new blocks we have introduced, and they will help to guide users through their learning journey in Workplace. So now the dashboard in Workplace 4 is responsible only for telling the users what they're doing now and what they need to do next. So we have removed a lot of cognitive load from the dashboard. We have simplified because we have a new feature in Workplace that's the My Courses extractor. So My Courses page was completely new in Moodle LMS, and it allowed us to simplify the dashboard, so we could bring all this personal learning catalog for the users to the My Courses page. And along with that, we have improved this My Courses page in LMS to integrate our learning entities, because in Workplace, apart from courses, we have programs and certifications. So we have integrated these entities into the My Courses to make it more comprehensive. And also we have created the new program page, which is similar to the course home. So now in Workplace, programs have their own page where the user can see the structure of the program, what the program is about, the relevant information about it, and if it's linked to any certifications, and they can just navigate through the program the same way they would do through a course. And we have also introduced the course cover and program cover pages that are our first steps toward learning catalogs. The learning catalog, we'll talk about that later. But then the course cover and the program cover pages allow the users, the learners, to view information, to see information about the course or the program itself before they get into it. So it's like a public page for the programs and certifications, and also courses. Apart from that, we have added a My Teams page. My Teams functionality exists previously in Workplace, but we have reimagined it in a way that now it makes much more sense with the primary navigation. So now it's a new element in the navigation, and managers, when they log into Workplace, they'll see a My Teams page, and in there they'll see a list of the users that report to them with access to all their learning statuses and completion, their roles, employee roles, and also they will see at a glance if someone is overdue in their learning using this My Courses page. This My Courses page is actually a custom page. Custom pages are a feature that we have introduced in Workplace that allow admins to create pages for different audiences and customize them the same way they would do with a dashboard. So in fact, custom pages are like personalized dashboard for specific audiences. You can create a dashboard, a custom page for the sales department in your company and put their information that is only relevant to them. And of course, you can create custom pages by tenant or global. So if you put together the dashboard personalization in Workplace that allows you to create dashboards for each tenant, and combine these features with the custom pages that allow you to create additional dashboards for these collectives, you end up having a super personalized learning environment that you can tailor to specific audiences. And just to highlight one of the many more features, we have introduced the new multi-tenant mobile settings that will allow our service providers to further customize their multi-tenant sites and create branded apps for individual tenants. So now you can have, for a single site with many tenants, you can have different branded apps for specific tenants. And these features, just to name many of the improvements that we have added to Workplace 4.
Sure, thanks, Emilio. So, and I guess all these features are combined with an enhanced UI. So the user experience is significantly improved. And of course, service providers can help enhance that further for customers, of course. And you touched on 2 or 3 things there that really drive data and really bringing data forward for users, richer content, better course catalog layouts, my courses, my programs, dashboard improvements. And of course, if customers want to explore any of these, they can reach out, of course, to any of our provider networks, of course, and engage with us and have a demo to try and explore this, because it is fairly significant in terms of the features that are coming along. And I'm interested, Emilio, in trying to sort of understand how those features compare with some of the other LMS products that we have out there right now, because Workplace is a big enhancement, right? And it competes significantly now with all the other LMS products, right?
Yeah, it is. And this is actually a very tricky question, but thanks for asking, John, because it's very hard to compare different products, even in the same vertical. Difficult, but with LMS is even more difficult. But when it comes to comparing corporate LMS between them, I prefer to compare the product proposition as a whole, instead of comparing features one by one, because features can be added or removed over time, but the product proposition is what makes it good for different types of environments, clients, and verticals. So with this in mind, I say that the strength of Moodle Workplace is its incredible flexibility. I like to think about Moodle, as a Swiss knife that you can use for virtually anything and to be tailored to any use case. And that's what our certified service provider do all the time. With Moodle Workplace excels in this, as it can be used the same for small customers or very big organizations with millions of employees. So I say that this is the main strength that Moodle Workplace have when you compare it with other competitors, because usually with other competitors you get what you get. So it's very difficult to when you try to stretch the product to make it fit, to adapt it to the customer's needs. It's when it comes, when it starts being very complex. But with Workplace it's completely different because our service providers can adapt it to virtually anything, and that's what I said, that is the main strength of Workplace comparing to other competitors.
Sure, absolutely. And we mustn't forget, Emilio, that Moodle is a modular system, right? So there is no one size fits all, as you've said. The other thing I just want to mention is that we mustn't forget, as well as the features that are there as standard within Workplace, we have a whole integration partner network as well, right? So e-commerce plugins, for example, and other features are all available still with certified Moodle Workplace App Store plugins. And that ecosystem is still building, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we have, so in Moodle LMS, we have the standard plugins database repository with hundreds of plugins. And specifically for Workplace, our partners or service providers could use all of those plugins, but also the certified integrations we have that are plugins that solve very specific problems in a way that is pretty convenient both for integrators and also for the end users. In Workplace, we take benefit of all this, but also on all the customizations that our service providers do with Workplace, because they can virtually adapt the product for every use case, for almost any use case. And integrations is one of these areas that our partners excels in, because Moodle Workplace allows integrations to be developed with virtually any third-party system. Not our certified integrations, but virtually anything that the customers might need. And that's something our partners do all the time. So I'd say that one of the main, and going back to the flexibility thing that I just mentioned, flexibility means also to adapt or to integrate the system, the software, with any other systems out there. And that's one of the key things that our partners do.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, a Moodle certified partner like ourselves or any other partner network can help a customer with something that isn't necessarily off the shelf as an integration, pre-built, but also custom integrations as well, right? So we can custom integrate with Moodle into our customers' own environments, whether that's a bespoke HR system or any other platform for that matter. So the whole package ultimately gives a customer real scope for choice, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And just to add something to that, with integrations, it's particularly important that you have a service provider that is able to just tailor the integration to your specific need, because each project is completely different, and each third-party system you need to integrate with is also different. So there's no, in this, at least in my opinion, there's no integration that will work in all cases. That's why in our case, it's so important that our partners do this job of really tailor the integrations to the environment that customers have.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in terms of a customer wanting to engage, they can reach out to any service partner, certified service partner globally that's a part of the Moodle.org network, and we can of course understand customer requirements. We can demo the features that you've talked about there, Emilio. I'd just like to spend just a couple of minutes though, just glimpsing into the future. So Moodle 4 is out. We're nearly onto the sort of the more mature releases, heading towards version 4.1. But can you just bring to life, Emilio, what the vision looks like going into 2023 and beyond with future versions of version 4 of Workplace?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me start with the short term first. So right now, for this, it's very important that I mention how we prioritize things, how we add things to the product. So I say that, so we have a product advisory group that helps us to ensure the product is aligned with the market needs. In fact, in this product advisory group, we have our service providers, the premium service providers, those service providers to really know Workplace and use it all the time with their customers. They have access to the Workplace source code and everything. They provide quality services based on Moodle Workplace, using Moodle, not only Moodle Workplace, but also Moodle, but especially Moodle Workplace. So with the help of the PAG, the Product Advisory Group, we prioritize and define all the features to be part of Moodle Workplace. Well, we did it for the MVP back in time, and after that, we have been using the PAG Advisory Group to help us guiding the product strategy, right, and the roadmap. So not only the roadmap in the short term, but also the strategy of the product. We conducted some prioritization rounds last year to consult the PAG, which were the priorities we should focus in the short and midterm right after Workplace 4. And as an outcome for that, we decided to focus on the Learning Catalog next. So the next big feature to come to Workplace will be the Learning Catalog. And taking it into account, we introduced some prerequisites, so some things we will need for the Learning Catalog development in Workplace 4. That's why we have introduced this program page, the course cover, the program cover, because those elements will help us to pave the road for Workplace 4, for Workplace 4 Learning Catalog. So the Learning Catalog is the next big feature to come. We started the discovery process with the PAG, and there's not much I can tell yet because we're consulting the premium partners, the service providers, to know exactly what they understand as a Learning Catalog, what are the features that should be part of the core, what are the integrations that this Learning Catalog will have, and we're conducting this process right now. And we are expecting that that we can start working on the prototypes, but late this year, early 2023, so we can start the development of this functionality in early 2023. So this is the next thing to come. But also, we are right now prioritizing with our partners the next big feature, so we can create this roadmap for the 6 to 18 months for the product. And this is very important because our partners at PEG help us to really have the features that customers need to make sure that the product is aligned with the market needs. But we need to discuss also, we need to engage with them not only in the very detailed features that we're adding to the product, but also on what is the path we want to take this product towards. So, and this is actually what we're going to do in the short term, because we are right now with Workplace 4, we are approaching to the end of the first phase in the product development, which was the rapid development. So everything that we wanted to add to Workplace, so it could catch up with other corporate LMS. So it had the core features that any corporate LMS has to have. And in the next months, we're going to engage with our PAG and other stakeholders to decide on the strategy of the product for the next 3 to 5 years. So basically, what do we want Workplace to be in 5 years' time?
That's great to hear that, because it future-proofs the product, and that's what our customers need to hear. We're actively thinking as a team around what's going to happen 2023, 24, 25, and 26. And it's great to hear that. As a service partner, we are part of that product advisory group, Emilio, as you know. And of course, that whole principle of learning catalogs and content quality, we're actively working on as well to really drive up the quality of content that's here, how it's displayed, and how users consume that content. So it's really exciting for our users. Emilio, it's been great to talk to you. And of course, I know you and the team have been very, very busy and will continue to be busy, and we'll continue working together as we develop the product. It's very, very exciting times for our customers. I just want to thank you very much for giving us some time this morning, Emilio. It's great to talk to you again.
Thank you very much, John. It was a pleasure for me. And, we'll talk again with Workplace 5, whatever it is.
Indeed we will. Emilio, all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All the best.